Hey, what's going on? I hope that you're doing well today, that you're having a great day so far, that you had a great weekend, and that you're prepared and you're ready for the week. It's crazy to think that we're already at the end of the year. I remember at the beginning of the year, I ended up setting up monthly calendars, right, for the whole year. And I was so excited because I was just starting what's up, Danielle? I was just starting the gym, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is actually becoming a thing. This year's going to go by so slow, I thought. And boy, I was completely wrong. This year, for me, it just flew by, right? What's going on, Caroline? We got the gym started. We got it going. Got to support a lot of people getting ready for their own health journey and fitness journey. And now I want to help you real quick prepare for not only the holidays, right, but also the new year that's coming. So if you read the little text above or below, wherever it might be, I want to talk to you a little bit about nutrition and how it might not be what you're eating, but actually how you're eating. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're eating like shit food all the time, then that's going to be a problem. And what do I mean by like shit food? I mean like not vegetables. I mean like fast food, fried food. If you're eating a lot of carbohydrates, you aren't eating a lot of protein, you aren't eating a lot of vegetables. What's up, Taylor? What's up, Kristen? And you aren't consistent with your eating, right? That kind of thing. Like if you can look and just see like this doesn't look appealing, like not even an animal would eat it, then you're probably not eating the right food, right? And what I see a lot as a coach is people want to know the right foods. They want to get the meal plan right off the bat. They want that. And it's cool, but the thing with meal planning is that you want to use it at certain times. So if you're getting ready for something, if you have a goal, or if, like, oh God, I have 3 months till I'm going to the beach, like that type of stuff, or I'm having a competition, then that's when you really want to get on a meal plan, right? Because there's a specific goal, there's a deadline, it's not going to last forever, and you can be restrictive in your eating. What's going on, Josh? What's up? What's up, Ash? Happy belated birthday. But it's only for a short period of time. Like, you don't want to restrict your eating forever, right? For as long as you live, because then you're just going to resent it and you're going to be like, oh God, I'm on a diet, right? All this kind of stuff that in the way that people complain. So what you want to do is you want to start adopting healthier habits, okay? Healthier habits. And a lot of what I've learned has been from this group, Precision Nutrition. And one of the first things, actually the first thing that they teach is to eat slowly, okay, to eat slowly. Now, why would they teach to eat slowly? Well, think about the fast-paced world that we live in, right? Most people, when we get up, we only give ourselves like 30 minutes to really get ready for work. Most of the time, there's like a skip breakfast, and if there's not a skip breakfast, then it's something very quick that's eaten on the ride over there. Well, here's a fun fact for you. Somebody actually told me when you're distracted while eating, your mouth won't produce the necessary amounts of saliva to break up the carbohydrates and the sugar that's in there. What's up, Katie? So you're not actually able to digest, right? Start the digestion process in your mouth like you're supposed to when you're sitting down and eating. When you eat slowly, you're actually able to taste your food. When you eat slowly, you're actually able to smell your food. And when you eat slowly, you're actually able to enjoy your food, right? Because if you're scarfing something down, you're just going to want more of it because you're not actually satisfying your taste buds. It makes a huge difference, right, in how much you eat and what you eat when you actually taste your food. Now, this is interesting, right? Like, here's a little exercise, and it's taking 10 raisins. You can do 10 M&Ms. You can do 10 of any little treat and try to eat, right? Try to eat each one try to take 10 minutes to eat the whole thing. Meaning, if you have 10 raisins, you've got to make those 10 raisins last for 10 minutes. And that will teach you to eat slowly. It will teach you to actually savor your food, to notice the juices, the texture, and all this different kind of stuff. It makes a difference. Think about it. Like if you were to try to, could you, right, actually eat 10 Oreo chips in 10 minutes? If not, right, that's because it breaks down so quick and it's not the best food for us. So eating slowly, right? Well, Eric, I just eat so much food that I'll never be able, like I just need it for my body, for my calories. Like if I hear that, then what I would want to say, right, is well, just eat slowly anyway. You can still eat all that food, just eat slowly. And you see what happens when we eat slowly about 20 minutes in, because the saliva is being produced and, because the saliva is being produced and we're actually taking the time to let our receptors like know that we're eating, we get fuller faster. Right? So you won't eat as much food if you begin to eat slowly. Now, that's the first thing, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is you actually want to notice and name. A lot of the times we eat when we don't actually want to eat, right? Like it's a stress eating or it's because something just happened, right? We eat to fill a void. Sometimes we eat because we just think we need to eat. It's lunchtime, like let's go, it's time to eat. Or it's dinner time, like let's go, it's time to eat. That's not necessarily true either, right? Like what you want to do is you want to start observing, okay, when do I get hungry and what am I craving? And when that happens, notice what you eat, right? Because in the morning, sometimes when you go to work, there's a coworker who comes in and they bring in some delicious donuts. And are you necessarily hungry, or do you just want that donut because it's going to bring a good, satisfying feeling? It reminds me of a story of a client who, when he got to work, he was complaining, right? Or he noticed that he was just uncomfortable because his chair was too small for him. His back had been hurting from, I think it was being bent over too much the day before, like when he was working in his garden. And he just wasn't comfortable, so a coworker brought in some food, and he smelled the food in the kitchen all the way from his desk. He went in there with some delicious brownies, and he didn't just have one, but he had 4. And after he had, what's up, Ashley? After he had those 4 brownies, right, he felt guilty, he felt terrible, he just felt like disgusted. So there's something to be said about noticing why we are eating, like what is the reason why we're choosing to eat, because it might not be exactly what we think it could be, right? It could actually be just because other people are eating, or we want sugar, or we want snacks. What's going on, Wes? So take that into consideration, right? So let the first thing be like, eat slowly. I mean, like, eat slowly. Like, set your utensil down, set your fork down in between eating so that you can actually taste your food, right? The second thing was notice and name, right? You can do this by food journaling, right? By writing down the food that you eat and noticing, okay, am I actually hungry here? Am I not hungry here? Like, what are the reasons why I'm eating? And I think the third thing that I wrote down was knowing actual portions for food. Right? You know I am, Ash. You know I am. Knowing actual portions for food, right? Because for men and for women, first off, it's different, right? Like women, you don't need to eat as much as what they've been told. Men don't need to eat as much as what they've been told. And then 2, you got to consider your goals too, right? Like for the longest time, I wanted to be a 250-pound bodybuilder, and I got to be a 250-pound bodybuilder, and I was eating like 4,000 calories a day. I was drinking like a gallon of milk. I could eat, like literally, I could eat a pizza a day because like that's what I needed. Like that's all the calories that I needed. So it was pretty awesome, right? But normal people don't lift like that. Like, especially if you sit down most of the day or if you're not really active, you don't need as much food as you think. So the excess calories that you eat, if you don't burn them off, they store as fat, man. Like, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Because what's wrong with fat? But if it's too much, if it's going to start affecting your body, it's going to start affecting your health. It's going to start affecting your mental and emotional attitude too, right? It's like, it's not the thing itself, it's what the thing brings with it. So normal size portions, what are they, right? Well, like you have a cup of carbohydrates, or you have this many sweet potatoes, or this or that. Like, let's cut the bullshit and get rid of all the certain carbs, right? Like, oh, you need to have a cup of this or a cup of that in order to equal this many. Like, let's use our hands. I've been teaching this for a while. It's pretty easy, but let's start with protein, okay? So a normal serving size of protein for women is like 3 to 5 ounces of protein. Ladies, use the palm of your hand. Okay, every time you eat, you want to eat about a palm size of protein. Now for me, right, I'm a male, so that means I'm going to need about 6 to 8 ounces of protein, okay? Which means I'm going to need probably either 1 to 2 palms worth. What's up? Well, I need 1 to 2 palms worth of protein in order to satisfy my protein needs. And that's at each meal, right? So like 3 meals a day. The second thing, right, is vegetables. Get your protein in, because that's going to help you recover. That's going to help you build muscle. It's going to help you burn fat. And the second thing is vegetables. Like, you want your vegetables. They have phytonutrients in them. They feel freaking good. And they actually get rid of excess fluid that's being held on your body. They help reduce inflammation. Like, veggies are a good ass thing. Make sure they're green and crunchy. I'm glad you like it, Wes. Appreciate it. And you want to go a fistful. Okay? So ladies, you want a fistful of veggies, right? Which is normally about a cup. And then guys, you want 2 fistfuls of veggies. It's a fuck ton, right? It's like 4 to 6 ounces for ladies, and then like close to 6 to 8 for guys. So think about that. Like, normally eating well, you already have a pound of food, close to a pound of food in front of you. The next thing, okay, we're going to go fats. So I'm going in order of like what I think is important. You definitely need proteins and veggies. Then you need fats. You don't need a lot. Ladies, you only need a thumb's worth of fat in your meals, right? 3 times a week. Guys, we need 2 thumbs worth. So what does that look like? It's like a tablespoon of peanut butter for girls, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter for guys. It's a handful, like a handful, a quarter cup of nuts, of almonds. It's a little bit of olive oil. It can be half of an avocado. Guys, we get a full avocado. It's stuff like that. And if you have any questions of what different fats and vegetables and what different proteins would be, like, list them below. List your questions below. I should have said that. Like, if you have any questions, start listing them below. What's up, bro? I haven't seen you in a long time. Mr. Thomas. And then from there, right, you have your carbohydrates. Now, there's like this war on carbs going on right now with the keto diet. Like, oh no, you can't have carbs. You have to go into ketosis. Like, if you go into ketosis, if that's your thing, go for it. But you're putting your body into an acidic state, so it's not necessarily the greatest thing that you're doing off the bat. But if that's not for you, if you still love your carbs like me, right, have a cupped handful of carbohydrates. That's it, right? That equates to about half a cup. And if you learn to eat slowly, then that's going to be enough to satisfy. What's up, Glenn? That's going to be enough to satisfy what you're actually feeling, right? What you want to eat. So let's go over it real quick. Guys, we are doubling the amount of food here. So ladies, you want to make sure you get in 1 palm's worth of protein 3 times a day. You want to make sure you get a fistful of veggies, a thumb's worth of fats, and you want to make sure you get a cupped handful of carbohydrates. Guys, we're doubling that. 2 palms worth of protein per meal per day. That's like 6 to 8 ounces of protein. We have 2 fistfuls of veggies. That's like 2 cups of veggies. We have 2 thumbs worth of fats, which is like 2 tablespoons of fat per meal. And then we have a cupped handful of veggies, of carbohydrates, and then that's going to end up clarifying the carbs, right? Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate it, bro. Just trying to get knowledge. I didn't realize that so many, that this stuff, I've been learning for years and years and years. It's not common knowledge, right? So let's get it out there so that people are aware of how to actually eat properly, because it's not necessarily about what you eat, but it's how you eat. So the last thing is journal, right? Notice the differences that happen in life, because think about this. You wake up, you're stressed out, you got 30 minutes to get to work, you hurry up, you hop in the shower, you skip breakfast, you get to work, thank God they have coffee. You have about 2 or 3 cups in the morning, no water, right? You don't have to use the restroom just yet because of everything that's been going on. Lunch comes around, you want to get something quick because you're catching up on work. And then as that's going on, right, you choose something that's not the healthiest, you hurry up, you down it, you're getting a little bit tired around 2 o'clock, so you have 2 more cups of coffee, you still haven't had a glass of water yet, and then you get home and you want something a little bit fast. What's up, Blake? And then you want something a little bit faster because, well, you didn't eat anything at the beginning of the day. You see, if you do this over and over and over and over, your body is not going to be able to sustain it. Right? Our bodies are incredible, but you're not going to be able to sustain it. So this is why it's so important to not only eat healthy, but to have healthy habits. And that takes observation, that takes introspection, and it takes reflection, right? Like knowing, okay, this stuff isn't good for me anymore, and then now I need to change it. Now, a lot of us can get into those habits. They can know those pieces like, okay, this isn't good for me, but we don't have the accountability that comes along with it. Like, we just think that things are magically going to change. It's not going to happen, right? It's not. I've tried it tons of times. You need to have somebody that you're accountable to. You need to have somebody that you can call up and be like, yo, I'm having some trouble right now. Or, hey, this went wrong. Like, I don't want to steer in this direction anymore. How can I get beyond this? And then that person, right, is somebody that you've got to respect. And it's got to be somebody that you don't want to let down. You see, kids have it really easy, I think. Because if a kid joins a sports team, they're automatically told, hey, this is coach, this is who you respect, this is who you listen to. Coach knows what coach knows, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do it, right? Coach will teach the sport, coach will teach whatever they need to teach, and hopefully coach will also, if he doesn't know or she doesn't know the answer, will find somebody else to get the proper answer, not just make shit up, right? Well, adults, we make shit hard, man. Because kids, they just accept it, right? This coach is going to help me. But for adults, right, we don't necessarily, right, take the full advantage of the coach. And I say this meaning, oh, I wish somebody would be there to help out. But when that person is, they fall off. And what I've discovered, right, it's not necessarily being accountable to just one person, right? It's being accountable to 2 people. And that's going to be that person that you respect and you don't want to disappoint. And that's being accountable to yourself, right? Because if you keep letting yourself down, that tells you a lot about your character. And as far as I know, right, like we want to come from a place of integrity. We want to come from a place of good moral character and good standpoint. And if we keep lying to ourselves about what we're going to do and how we're going to change and we don't do that, then one, right, we're not being honest and we're not holding true to ourselves. So accept where you're at, right? Acknowledge that. And then if you want to change things, then go ahead, find somebody that you respect, that you can be held accountable to, and hold yourself accountable to, right? Now, I know this was probably a long video. I was on live for a long time. But check out the dialogue box wherever it is, and then write down, right, like, was this valuable to you? Because we talked about eating slowly. We talked about different nutritional habits and how you can notice and name what's going on, what you're feeling, to gear your food choices. And then we also talked about what I think was one of the trickiest things, right, is your food portions, how much you should be eating, right? And then on top of that, getting held accountable. What everybody says that they want, but when it comes around, nobody jumps on top of it. So anyway, with all that being said, I hope you have a great day. You are unstoppable. You're going to accomplish all your goals with ease and with little effort. But don't get me wrong, you're going to have to put in a little bit of effort to get the ball rolling first. And then just to read Glenn's comment real quick, people don't understand that a diet is simply a meal plan. You can eat whatever you want, just have to have the right amounts and the right portions. People still think that they need to do this keto diet or Atkins diet. It's really starving your body in some shape or form. Yes, Glenn, yes, absolutely. What up, B? Yes, Glenn is right. If you didn't read his comment, read it, right? Like we talked about this a little bit earlier. everything in moderation is okay. I doubt that most people are going to tell you that, but everything in moderation is okay. Like, if you only have 3 Oreos and you only have 3 Oreos 3 times a week, guess what? It's not as bad as eating that whole box, even though we all know that whole box with some milk, it's good stuff. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. We'll talk soon. Peace.